What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the PlayStation Drive. This is episode 85. My name is Matt. I'll be your host for this wonderful Adventures events. I'm joined, as always, by the Supreme Court of Canada himself, Mr. Court Lalone. What's up, dude?
Hey, buddy.
How you doing?
You know, it's almost like I was just talking to you.
I know. It's almost like we just recorded a big ol' Last of Us episode 1 spoiler cast with our friend Seth that might be up on the channel in a couple hours. Who knows? What? That's right. PlayStation Drive listeners, if you are watching The Last of Us on HBO, come join us. We're going to have a special miniseries going dedicated to the show where we recap the episode and give our thoughts, feelings, and spoilers all about the show and where we think it's going next. That'll be live on this right here for you in just a couple hours. If you're listening to this in the future, well, then it's
and also for
up.
Everybody about to hear, don't get scared. We will not spoil anything during the PlayStation Drive for the Last of Us TV show. Zero spoilers.
Zero spoilers. We'll give our quick thoughts, but we're not really going to dig into it too much here on this show. Just again, we want to make sure this is spoiler free, but people who do want the spoilers, well, they'll be there waiting for you on the other show. Court, we need to do a bit of quick garage cleaning before we get into it, because of course, if you're watching this live right now on the youtube.com/Carpool Gaming, PlayStation Drive every week, 1 p.m. EST. Come hang out with us. Like, comment. Guys, please, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Midas because he leaves comments for us all the time. Please, 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 if you're enjoying the show, leave us a comment. It helps us grow, helps people find us. It makes a huge difference. Even if it's just a quick, simple, great show, guys. We'd appreciate it very, very much. Leave those comments down below. If you have a little bucks to toss our way, head over to patreon.com/Carpool Gaming. Toss bucks in, cornucopia of content comes out, helps us do a whole bunch. And of course, leave us some reviews on your podcast service of choice, wherever you listen. Leave us those 5 stars, those nice words, because we appreciate you all very, very much. And we just want to become bigger and better in the year 2023, Court. And all these comments and reviews and stuff will just help us do that,
Stop crying.
Okay. Let's get into it, because of course we got to talk about what we've been playing with our special little playlist. Court, what have you been playing lately? What's been on your mind? What have you been doing?
Still playing Borderlands 3.
Nice.
I literally, because of our conversation and my promise that I just made on a podcast, I am in the midst of downloading The Last of Us Part 2.
Nice.
Because I was originally going to switch over to Red Dead Redemption because I've never really gave that game a chance.
1 or 2?
Number 2.
Okay.
So I started playing it, and then the whole horse mechanic, after the very opening scene, you do everything, and then you finally get the horse. I'm just ugh, this game's a lot to deal with. And I continue my cheesy platinum trophy quest. I think I got 30 over the weekend.
Nice.
Yeah, but Drellish just destroyed me, so it didn't even matter. But yeah, I'm playing Borderlands 3. I'm loving it. I'm gonna continue playing it. We'll see what I go to next. It's either, I think right now, it could be Forspoken, it could be The Last of Us Part 2, it could be Red Dead Redemption 2, but I'm going to try new things. So we'll see. We'll see what it is.
We'll see what it's going to be. I don't know, dude. I know we just talked about this, but I'm kind of going to wait with The Last of Us Part 2 until later this year, just in case we get some cool new patches or some cool PS5 stuff. But I do want to replay it this year as well.
Get VR?
Well, I'm saying that would break my brain. But yeah, no, I'm ready for a Last of Us Part 2 playthrough. So I'm going to see if we get anything cool from PlayStation later this year. And if not, I'll hop onto it in the summer. As for myself, I finished a couple different games for the last week. The first of which was Crisis Core. Really, really enjoyed it. That final dungeon is a gobbledygook of a bit of a mess. Was not a big fan of that because there was a lot of just aimless running around and trying to find stuff. Had to look up a couple guides just to find the last couple things that I needed. But man, that game was great. Really, really enjoyed it. For anybody who liked Final Fantasy VII, this is a massive part of the lore leading up to and including the events of Final Fantasy VII. Just builds things out in a way. And again, for a game that was stranded on the PSP for quite a while, I'm glad to actually have an opportunity to hop in and check that game out. It was awesome. Really, really enjoyed it. And I played through the entirety of Inscription. That game just grabbed me and did not let go. I started it last year, and then for reasons unknown, something else just pulled me away. Went back in, and basically over the span of 2 days, I just marathoned it. Really, really loved it. The trailers really do a fantastic job of not telling you what that game is. Don't look into it if you're curious. Of course, it is a card battler, right? It is a deck builder, so be aware. But that game is just fantastic. What an awesome ride. It it changes what it's doing constantly. I really like that's like right up there for my game of the year already, and I don't see that changing just because of how much I really truly love that game. So if you're curious about Inscription, highly recommend it. Go check it out because it was absolutely fantastic.
I can always count on you to tell me games that I have no clue what they are.
Mhm.
And then you're like, don't even look it up. I'm like, you know what? You're right. Like you just said Card Battle and you're talking to me and I appreciate that.
Mhm.
Oh, I forgot to mention I started, which is on PlayStation Plus, The Artful Escape. I finished it on Xbox
Nice.
before because it was on Game Pass.
Mhm.
One of my favorite games of last year.
Really?
And I decided it's only a 4-hour experience. So I decided, I'm like, you know what? One, I want to go get the platinum because we do have a competition in our Discord. If you want to come join it on PlayStation, on the PlayStation Drive, come into the Carpool Gaming Discord. You can find it out on Twitter there. Or you can find it in the show links below. We're doing a platinum or trophy competition, not platinums, but the platinum is not hard. It's just from playing the story, and I really enjoyed it. I love the art direction they take in it. I love the music.
Yep.
And I love the fact that it's a rhythm game with an amazing story. So a lot of things I like about it, and it's not long. So I played about an hour, and in my brain I'm like, all right, I'm gonna give it an hour every day, or try to at least, and I'll have it finished maybe by next week. So I'm gonna pick a small game from PlayStation Plus to be my like dessert that I'm going to play all the time. So I'm not just always playing the same game. And right now I'm playing the Artful Escape.
Nice. I keep hearing about that one. I've never checked it out, and I think you told me to play it last year. So it's on PlayStation Plus. I'll download it. I'll rip it because of course
it's a platinum.
It's a beautiful looking indie game. So of course I have to hop in and check that out. But yeah, I think Inscription is or was on Game Pass. Court. I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on it. But again, I don't know if you'd like it or not.
I don't think you ever will, though.
I don't think I ever will.
I think it's up right there. It's a card-based game. It's It's like when we play The Witcher and all that. Everybody's like, "Oh, I love Gwent." I'm like, you know what? I played it when they had to because they make you. And then I never played it again.
But Gwent is so good. All right, fine. Fair. I'll respect it and I'll appreciate it. But let's keep this car a rolling because we have a whole bunch of breaking news and of course a whole bunch of questions and of course question of the show to round us out. So let's hop over into some fantastic but breaking news because wham, we got hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. Wham, there we go. We got our PlayStation Plus games for the month of January because we have to talk about these things because they're exciting. Hitting the extra and the premium tiers, we of course got Back 4 Blood for PS4 and PS5, Dragon Ball Fighters or Fighters Z, I never remember how to pronounce that, on PS4, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition on PS5, Life is Strange Before the Storm, Life is Strange, Jet the Far Shore on PS4 and PS5, Just Cause 4 Reloaded on the PS4, Omno on PS4, Erica on PS4, and for our premiums we get Siphon Filter 3, Star Wars Demolition, and Hot Shots Golf 2. Court, what are your thoughts? What are your feelings? What are your opinions, one might ask, about PlayStation Plus?
I have never played Devil May Cry 5, and I'm gonna play it.
Dude, me too!
So I love that type of it's just shoot 'em up. It's just like
action
whatever.
combat,
just hack and slash. Just go through it and action. It's just have fun with it.
Yeah,
I like the previous games, so that is definitely a must download. And I'm going to add thanks to our friend Bobby Miller, I've made a list, and it got added to my list as soon as it got added to PlayStation Plus because I've made I'm always going to be playing a game that's on PlayStation Plus, and that's up there. I know I believe Savoy Prime said that there's a pinball game that I can get a cheesy platinum on. I think that's number 2 after Artful Escape. But after that, I think that'll be my PlayStation Plus game that I'll always go back to. And I think it will be Devil May Cry because I really want to try it out.
Dude, me too. I've always heard how fun this game is. And I've played like Devil May Cry very, very randomly. Like I think the only one that I've beaten in its entirety is DMC. So like which I enjoyed. I had fun with it. I'm curious to check this game out. Back 4 Blood is one that like I never actually jumped into on Xbox, so I think I might wrangle up a couple friends and hop in and check it out because I've heard people like it. And Life is Strange again. Maybe this is the time where I finally play through this. Maybe this is the time where I finally hop in and rip through them because again, never played any of them. I started the first one when it was a thing and just never ever went back to it for no reason at all.
We could play them together.
We could play them together.
I finished them on Xbox. I'll finish them again on PlayStation.
There we go. We can play them together. And then the one that I'm really curious to check out is Omno. I keep seeing clips about this game and stuff, and I have a couple friends that played it that it looks really cute and it looks like a lot of fun. You're like this little dude and you can like fly around with your little stick. I'm about it. I want to check it out. I think this is a good month. I think it's a good month for extra. Premium though, dude.
I don't think it's like beating a dead horse. It's like when Xbox talks about game with gold and we're all just like, why?
Yep.
Why do you even say things? I know Ryan made a joke about that Star Wars game, and then someone replied like it's not a bad game.
Star Wars Demolition. I've never even heard of this.
I will beat this drum until it's fixed, but PlayStation Premium tier is
Hold on.
Is whatever at this point.
Star Wars Demolition. Let's just quickly, because I'm curious, let's just quickly pull up a trailer here. We're doing it live. Keep talking. I'm listening.
I look at this premium tier and I'm just like, I think it was last week you made that suggestion that you could throw in some new PlayStation 5 games into that premium tier and make it a little bit more sexy. Or like Spider-Man PS5, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So,
nope.
We can see what Matt's history is.
Exactly.
Hey, everybody.
That's a no.
Yeah,
Matt's
no. Watching dating shows.
100%. No, I'm not about it. I just checked out the trailer. That looks like it looks like almost like Twisted Metal, but Star Wars. Is that fair? Kind of. Ish. Maybe.
Whatever. You know what? Like their PlayStation. What? They're just terrible.
Games. Yeah.
They're just so bad.
Yeah. Well, let's kind of let's stay on this PlayStation Premium train of thought because, Court, our next piece of news coming from Insider Gaming, written by, of course, hold on, I think it's Tom Henderson.
Tom Henderson.
Writes that PlayStation 5 version 7.0 to include Discord and cloud streaming for PS5 games. Insider Gaming sources have provided information on what to expect with the upcoming PlayStation 5 7.0 update scheduled for March. It's currently scheduled for March 8th, 2023, and will include full Discord integration that was revealed in 2021. Let's pause there. Let's stop before we get into PlayStation Premium. Discord is finally imminent on PS5 or PlayStation in general. Court, how are you feeling about this? Because I know this is something that you and I have been wondering and asking for a little while.
I'm getting annoyed that my scheduled tweets are not working, but it's like the second week in a row. Forget it. I'll have to do them live from now on. I know it annoys some people that they can see me doing things, but sorry. For me, I have been waiting for this, as I keep saying that I want to, on my lunch break, I play video games.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, hey, I'll just jump into the Discord. But the way my setup is, I play through a TV. I don't play through my computer. So it's very cumbersome and it doesn't work. And I'd rather have my conversations in the Discord than opening up to a chat, or like even when I'm playing a multiplayer game, I don't want other people in the conversation.
Yeah,
I truly like the Discord aspect of that. So for me, I'm very excited, especially because we have such a great community over on the PlayStation Drive and Carpool Gaming. So it was just more of like, hey, as soon as it hits and this update hits, I can promise you I'm going to be live streaming my game, whatever game I'm playing on my lunch hour, and I'm going to let people come in and have a conversation. And I can't wait to do it. You won't see me on the thing because I am not a big fan of that, of the camera thing, but I just like it for being able to talk to my friends, especially when like Sean does his super fun Saturday nights. The whole chat is in Discord, and that's the great thing. Like he's on his Xbox, and it's phenomenal just be able to just have the conversation in Discord, right?
Yep.
And that lets the whole community get in right away. And then you can also see in the Carpool Gaming community, oh, he's online. Like it's so much easier than having to be like, hey, I'm online, and like sending out the bat signal to let everybody know you're playing.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think this is really cool. Even just like you said, like being able to hop in and hop out of each other's chats and seeing what's going on with like even more ease of functionality. And for me, like I like occasionally play games with my younger brother and my younger cousin, who, you know, like to play Fortnite and stuff. And we're split across PlayStation and PC and Xbox. So we're usually, you know, I have one headphone in connected to my phone that's on Discord and the other headphone for the game audio. So just having those all finally in one place for just ease of use across different consoles. This is fantastic for stuff like crossplay. I'm very, very happy that this is coming. I'm very, very happy that we don't have to wait too long for it, you know, less than 2 months out at the point of this recording. So I hope that this is true. I'd be shocked if it wasn't, but you know, 7.0, a big, nice 1.0 plus 1.0 update is a fantastic way to do this. But of course, that's not the only thing that we're getting, because we are also getting, sources have revealed that PlayStation 5 games will also be streamable on the PS5 via cloud streaming to save all that important drive space. It said that this feature will be included in the PlayStation Plus premium tier. The feature, under the project name Cronus, has been in development and testing for a number of months, sources have revealed. So PS5 games through streaming on PlayStation Premium. We've talked a lot about what Sony and what PlayStation needs to do to make Premium a worthy investment. is locking cloud streaming on PS5 behind premium. Is that the right move here? What do you think?
Nope. Once again, nope. That's the wrong move. That doesn't even make any sense, especially when the technology is just not there, as you can already do on PlayStation Plus. And you try those PlayStation 3 games, you're like, day. It's just sometimes it's just not everybody has good internet. So unless you're hardwired, as Sean Capri says, the only way to do it. I just it's a miss for me locking this behind premium. It's also like locking your cloud saves. Like there's so many times where they're just like, come on, man. There is literally another service that you can literally do apples to apples in. And PlayStation has the better games. There is no doubt, first party, PlayStation has the better games. But as of right now, if we match service to service, the other service is better.
And
it offers more value for your money.
Yep. And my question here now becomes, because it's one of like I'm going to be a little bit more optimistic here, because I hope that this is a sign that the PS5 versions of the games will also be coming to PC. Like I'm hoping that we're going to see, awesome. I'm hoping we're starting to see more PS5 versions of these games hit the service, right? Like even like we've mentioned Spider-Man and stuff, like having the PS5 versions of these games on the premium. Like I don't like that it's locked behind premium, but again, if the value add-on here is theoretically that you'll be able to stream PS5 games to your PC, if they're going to be a more regular adding of PS5 versions of these games to PlayStation Plus, then again, not a fan of them locking it behind, but at least I can start to see a use case for this outside of just, oh, you can stream your PS5 games. So I'm hoping that this is a good thing. I'm hoping this is kind of setting the, paving the way for things to come, because if all it is PS5 game streaming, I don't think that's a big enough value add-on to lock it unless they have more plans for this in the future, which is what I'm hoping this is.
Yeah, it's just so weird to lock it behind the premium, hey, this premium tier. If you look what it offers, you're just like, what? Like
a very weird collection.
It's just I need it more. I know I'm once again beating a dead horse here, but I want it to be like that other one, because I don't want to say their name, because cloud console PC. I love the fact that every time a game comes to that other service, it's cloud console and PC. And I'm like, hey, I can play it on my phone. As of right now with the PlayStation, I'm just like, oh, okay, so the PC launcher is not good. I can't really play it on my phone. And I'm like, there's a lot of games, like perfect example, Artful Escape. It works great on your phone. I don't need to play it on a console. It looks great on your phone, looks great on your tablet. If I could do that and still be able to play PlayStation everywhere
and get trophies,
God forbid how good that would be. And then, you know what? If you want to lock that and be like, hey, if you want to be able to play PlayStation everywhere, then that's behind the premium tier. But stop acting like this premium tier is anything to write home about, especially when you don't have your first party titles day and date. Like I could understand if the premium tier, that's where you got them. But the fact that Spider-Man PS5 is still not on the service and it's a digital only game is just bananas at this point.
Yep. I'm with you, dude. I hope that this is a good sign of things to come and not just them again throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. Let's keep this train rolling into our next story from Mobile Syrup, written by Bradley Shankar. Ubisoft delays Skull and Bones for the 6th time, cancels 3 more games. The open world pirate game was most recently set to release on March 9th, 2023, but Ubisoft said now it's simply slated to come out sometime between now and early 2024. In a press release, Ubisoft acknowledged that it's facing quote-unquote major challenges, including the cancellation of 3 unannounced games on top of the 4 it had axed last year. Court, things seem to be a little bit turbulent for Skull and Bones and for Ubisoft. Tell me your thoughts and feelings.
Well, it says that it's coming in the first half, so that I truly think they were supposed to release it in March, which is, by the way, this is their 6th delay on this one game. The game was originally supposed to release in 2019. That's just crazy. And technically, it was also originally thought of after Black Flag. Like, that's the inspiration for this game. They were like, they were making Black Flag, which came out the very beginning of the PlayStation 4 life cycle. It was a launch title. And that's when this game started becoming pen to paper and an idea. It is still not out, which is, it's saying more. And I feel worse for the people that work for Ubisoft and the developers, because it's now become, Ubisoft went from, we've got to beat off Vivendi to, now it's just like our shareholders dictate everything and we're just deleting games left, right, and center and just yeeting them out of existence. And I feel terrible because I think this game will launch in April. It's supposed to launch in March. April's the beginning of their fiscal year, and they want to have it in their fiscal year. They're launching Division Heartland next year, but they're also giving a season 10 to the Division 2, which is still like a game that they thought was dead. I love it, and it's still being played. And then we know we're getting Assassin's Creed Mirage near the end of the year. I believe they said they were giving it to us in August, but I still think it's going to be an October, November game because it's Assassin's Creed. And anytime they've ever told us it's coming early, it always comes in October and November. So let's just put it in October, November, people, because that's when it's coming out. Like, why? I don't understand this. Like, it's almost insulting to us, right?
Yeah.
Like, when has this game not come out in October, November? Like, okay, it's coming out this time. No, it's not. It's just, it's more concerning as someone that likes Ubisoft games. They have extremely bad management right now because we can already see this because there's some terrible things that get said about them on a regular basis.
Right.
So, and that is not something we can just shake a stick at. They make great games and they're just not doing anything with them. It's like, hey, let's try this thing. No, just do the thing that's good and just don't bring them out annually. Just give us what we want.
The thing is, I think Ubisoft's at a point right now where, like, you know, now that they've finished beating off Vivendi, I'm a little bit I'm a little bit nervous that they're in a point now where they are very much at a crossroads where they need some massive changes to move forward. Like you mentioned, there's a lot of horrible news about the way that they treat their employees that cannot just be forgotten about and, left on the side. Especially their female employees. They need a lot of work to be done. There are good people that work at the company for sure, but you can see that there's the mismanagement is running amok. Skull and Bones, like, I don't think this game is coming out anytime soon, dude. I wouldn't be surprised if this game never comes out.
Well, we just saw it. They just showed it. So they just had a Twitch stream of it. They played about a half an hour of the game. I still want to play the game. But that's the only reason I do is because I don't know what it is about this developer. They put out a game and I seem to like them every single time.
And I get that. I just think that sorry,
but the game's coming out. The game's coming out. No, that's fine. I just the game is coming. I have to think it is.
The thing is, it would of course be a loss. Like if they just wrote it off or they tried to do whatever to it. But everything we're seeing with WB and everything right now with them writing off shows left, right, and center. Could this end up being a tax write-off for them? Could they end up doing something else in the future? Right? Like they're and what's weird to me is that they're canceling games that are unannounced. Like the fact that there's 7 games over the course of the last calendar year that have been axed before we even knew what they were.
But there were all these free to play Well,
that's what I mean. We don't know what they were.
There's one game that they axed that if everybody knew about it, they'd be really pissed off.
Listen, I'm sure, but that's the thing. It's they obviously needed both hands when they were beating off of Vivendi, and now it's now that they're free again to do whatever they need to do. I just don't know if they know what they're doing. Like Splinter Cell, people were asking about for years and years and years, and now we're starting to get stuff again. I just don't know if they know what they're doing, and I feel like I would rather them take a step back, have next to nothing come out for a little while, and really zero in on the stuff that is successful for them and it works. That isn't an annual release. That isn't just constantly being brought out over and over again. They have some fantastic IP and they need to figure out what they want to do with it. That isn't just let's make money, because we've seen what that's done to them in the last little while.
It's kind of scary when we look at it now that if you're not under the big guys under Xbox or PlayStation, you're a gong show.
Well, it's an interesting
one. Ubisoft Plus still not on PlayStation or Xbox. What the heck? Do they not like money?
Well, and that's the thing, right? It's just confusing because they have a pedigree that has lived for so long, and even stuff with the Prince of Persia, the new Prince of Persia game, the remake or whatever, that went all dark too. There's so many.
We're
games,
never seeing that game. That's never happened.
There's so many question marks that it's just what are you guys doing? There's so many incredible indies there, and it's interesting that you pull up if you're not one of the big 3 right now, you're suffering. Ubisoft, 2K, EA, all of these big companies are now in a position where they have to start to do something different, or else again they're just going to get acquired by Xbox, right?
Yeah, look at 2K even put out a Grand Theft Auto remasters that were just yikes. They were bad. They weren't remasters. They've said they were, and we all were like, no, they're not. They're literally just put HDR on or something because these look bad.
Exactly. So I don't know, dude. We'll keep everybody appraised of Ubisoft as it happens. But I don't know. I'm not feeling good about things right now. But Insider Gaming, once again, flipping back here to written by, I don't see a byline. I'm going to guess Tom Henderson again. No, it is Grant Taylor Hill. Thank you, Grant Taylor Hill. PlayStation to announce third-party content very soon, Snitch claims. The Snitch, that's right, the retired one, has jumped into his now public Discord server and let loose with a massive piece of information. According to a reliable source of his, PlayStation is on the verge of announcing third-party content, quote-unquote, very soon, but little more than that is currently known. This is tantalizing information as there are several projects on the horizon, such as the Metal Gear Solid remake that is rumored to be announced soon, which would fit the bill perfectly. Needless to say, social circles are already trying to make sense of the cryptic claim, and the suggestion mill is churning out assumptions left and right. Court, here's my question. Is this a game? Is this a showcase? What is this third-party thing? Are we getting a bunch of third-party games, or are we getting an announcement of a game?
PlayStation hasn't given us anything for a really long time. The Snitch, who came out of retirement for this in his Discord, the guy has been like the most accurate person. I think he's like 99.9% right every single time. Like, I don't think he's ever been wrong. I'm trying to think of the things he puts out. If he says we're getting a third party glow up, I think we are. And I think there's been far too long the rumors. Silent Hill keeps putting out tweets every 2 seconds that we know something's going on. So obviously they can throw that there, right?
Mm-hmm.
We have heard rumors that Blue Point is working on something. And we've heard it's a remake of a third party, but PlayStation's getting to be behind it. Do we finally get to see it? Like, we've heard I think at this point, you've already said it, like, everybody thinks it's Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't think there's like something else that isn't there. They have all these partnerships with all the things. Like, if you remember, we got Deathloop till we were punched in the face. We got Ghostwire Tokyo till we were punched in the face. We're getting Hogwarts Legacy like we're punched in the face.
Mm-hmm.
But that game's coming out soon. They got to do one more. This is Sony. They're going to do one more show.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's where they throw this all in, right? Because they've got a slate of games coming out, and we don't even really we know Forspoken's coming.
Yeah,
that's a third party.
Well, that's next week already, right?
Yeah, and we know Hogwarts is coming,
This
third
week.
party. And we know Spider-Man 2 is coming, but we don't know anything else.
And like,
oh no, Final Fantasy.
Final Fantasy. Yeah. Final Fantasy 16.
That's it.
And
that's
like, the thing is, my thing is here is that like, I would love for this to be some sort of showcase. What this reads to me is a game. I don't know if we're going to get more than an announcement. The word stuff here could be either a singular or plural here. We're not really sure as to if he's speaking to many third-party things or just one or two. I would love for this to be a state of play. I would love for to see what's going on here. I think Metal Gear is pretty much a lock. Could Ubisoft be here with Splinter Cell? Right? Like,
we also got to get VR stuff, right? We don't know what third-party games are coming to VR.
We don't. It could be VR stuff. It could be something else that we just don't know about yet, right? There's all those, the leaks, especially the last couple of weeks, of what we know is a third-party exclusive coming to PlayStation. Are we finally going to see that game that, leaked out a bit, the one that was codenamed Ooze or whatever, and there was a bit of gameplay online already? Like, that's my biggest stuff here, is that, like, how imminent is imminent? Because we already know Xbox has something going on at the end of the month, right? Like, January, was it 26th, 27th? Something 25th. Around there? 25th, thank you.
And we're going to be live watching that along on Carpool Gaming. Everybody check that out. I know it's a PlayStation show, but please go support.
Go support. Yeah, I don't know, dude. Like, I really want this to be Metal Gear. I really want this to be more than just one thing. I'm just going to temper expectations with myself right now and convince myself it's only one thing. So if it's anything more than that, I'll be happily and pleasantly surprised. And now, my dude, before we get into questions, we, of course, need to talk about The Last of Us, which came out last night. We finally got the first episode, an hour and 20 minutes of unreal goodness. And again, we have a separate show that will be going live later today, digging into spoilers. But just kind of, Sparks notes it for me. Court, tell me your spoiler-free thoughts on the show thus far.
I thought they did a very good job of adapting a video game into a television show. Mind you, I think this was set up purposely. Naughty Dog's games are almost like made to be on TV or movies. I still think Uncharted was a loss by making it a movie and not making it a TV show, because I think you get more out of it. I thought they did a phenomenal job of putting Easter eggs throughout there and homages towards the game itself and keeping the source material. And I can't wait to see what's coming next. I thoroughly enjoyed my time watching it. You are muted, my friend.
I am muted, my friend. Thank you. Yeah, I thought the story so far was fantastic. I love all the actresses and actors involved so far. Bella Ramsey is fantastic as Ellie. Pedro Pascal is an incredible Joel. I'm really enjoying myself with it so far, and I can't wait to see what comes next. If this first episode is any indication of the quality of the overall show, we're in for a very special ride here. One that I think will ultimately end up rivaling the game. If they stick the landing, if this kind of continues along the way that it was, I think the potential here is huge. And I hope, and I'm looking forward to talking about it with you each and every week, Court, because of course.
So just give us Ghost of Tsushima next. And
we're good to go. We're there. And of course, now let's let a bunch of our friends into the car because we have a whole bunch of questions to get through. Once again, if you want to ask us a question, there's a Twitter post that goes live every week asking for questions. And of course, hop into the Discord, hop onto the YouTube, let us know what you want us to talk about and what, burning questions about PlayStation or about us you may have. Just like Streamcast did. Shout out Streamcast. Go check them out. Andy and the folks there. Wonderful, lovely people. Go check them out. With the hype generated in the lead up to The Last of Us TV premiere, what other gaming IPs do you think could make a killing as a TV series or a movie? So we know Gran Turismo's coming. We know God of War is coming. What else do you want?
Or Infamous. Like, I think maybe that's how we can bring Infamous back. We make it a TV show.
Ooh.
I am more of a TV show person. I don't know what it is. I like going to the movie theaters, but I think, The Sopranos did it for me. Once I got something like The Sopranos where I could just watch it and I just, in the comfort of my own home, I'm very much a homebody.
Mm-hmm.
I like the TV show aspect, especially for the video games, because every single time I almost say that when we bring it to the movie screen, it's just like they don't give it justice. I don't think a video game can be put into 3 hours or 2.5 hours or an hour and a half, whatever time they give it. I don't think that's enough time. So for me, I think Ghost of Tsushima would be unbelievable, and I would also want it in black and white.
Yes.
I think Infamous would be unbelievable, but I'm now thinking about it. We've already got The Boys. We've already got sort of stuff in that genre, but you know what? Infamous is its own story.
Yep.
I think you could do the story of Cole. I think it would be phenomenal for television. What about you?
See, I'd actually want an Infamous movie series because I do think that's one that you can adapt into a movie. I think you can kind of, simplify the story a little bit in terms of like how much happens. I was just thinking about this while you were talking, Court, and what I really want is we've already talked about a game like this, but give me like an Astro Bot animated series or anime where again it's his like journey and he's going through different PlayStation IP. Like an episode could be set in the Horizon world, an episode could be set in Uncharted or whatever. I think like that could really work well either as a kids show or something animated or anime style. I think could be really cool, especially given how much, we're seeing a massive resurgence. Well, not a resurgence, but animation's very popular right now. I keep hearing about the new Puss in Boots movie, which is not anything
It was phenomenal.
I need to watch it, and that's what I mean.
It's so good. It's scary though.
Cool. I'm in. Like give me Astro Bot, but Kingdom Hearts, but anime, and I'm there. I'm in. I want that now. Steve Vigvari over at S Vigvari on Twitter asks, how do you think the schmucks who questioned Pedro Pascal and Bella Ramsey as Joel and Ellie are doing today?
Honestly, I never understood that. Like Pedro Pascal, like he just does everything great.
Mm-hmm.
The people that dunked on things before they actually saw something, you know what? They're just trolls, and I know, and I'll never understand. Give everything a chance, like you're doing with the tendrils. We talked about this on the show that are good. You're giving it a chance. I've watched an episode. I gave it a chance before I saw it. I'm still not happy about it, but it is what it is. But I will never understand how someone can hate something before they see it or play it, or it's so weird to me.
Yeah, I hope all those people are doing well, because you know what, we're living in a world where we're getting a fantastic Last of Us show. I know there was a lot of people who are very against Bella Ramsey for whatever reason, as if like, she's again, we talked about it on the show, but her vocal inflections, her delivery, everything about her is Ellie. It's Ellie.
Is so what would an
actor? I think actor still works as a general.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Or performer?
Performer could work too. But yeah, Bella Ramsey has been absolutely unreal. And Pedro Pascal, I never had any doubts. As soon as these two were announced as the leads, I knew that this was going to be something special. So
she was I don't even know how to do it. amazing in Game of Thrones.
Yeah, Bella was fantastic.
Phenomenal performance. Bella was great.
Fantastic.
Oh, that's how I do it.
There you go.
Okay. I'm learning.
And we got a triplet from Josh O'Neill over here on Twitter at realdeal_J O'Neill. We'll go through them one by one because the first one says, what is a favorite quote from any game you've ever played? What is one of your favorite gaming quotes, Court?
So one of my favorite comes from Assassin's Creed 2, and it's when you meet up with your uncle in the game, and he turns to Ezio and he says, "It's a me, Mario." It is still to this day gets me every single time. I actually went through and played it again when I got my Xbox Series X, and I totally forgot about it. And then it happened, and I'm like, screen record. I'm like putting it on Twitter. I'm just like, oh my God. Like he even says it that way. Like he says, "It's a me, a Mario," like out of nowhere. Like throughout the whole game, he talks with his Italian accent. But for that little instance, he's like, you know what? I'm going to be a video game Mario right now. And they killed it with it. It was perfect because it's one of the most iconic quotes in all the video games. It's a me, Mario. And when Ubisoft put it in a game, I was just like, well done. Well done.
Yeah, for me, I think of Celeste a lot. Like, I again, one of my favorite games of all time. And I actually looked up a couple quotes from here that I couldn't remember as much anymore, but I really enjoy. One of them is, "It's hard to believe that it's over, isn't it? Funny how we get attached to the struggle." Like it's a game that again talks a lot about mental health and deals with depression and anxiety. And then one of the other ones is, "If this is all in my head, why is it so hostile? The things are hunting me. I'm a trespasser in my own world." Like just that game for me is just full of incredible written lines. Celeste is a very, very special game, and I wanted to shout that out. Josh's second question is, with the great PlayStation stories of experience coming to movie and television, what is one scene that you want to see that you would be in absolute awe? Yeah, okay, so what's a scene that had you in absolute awe and a scene that almost broke you? For me, it's the final sword fight in Ghost of Tsushima and the traumatic death in The Last of Us 2. So what is a scene that you would want to see that you'd be like really, really stoked to see, and a scene that would really break you?
There's a scene that we're going to get in The Last of Us Part 1 that is in a building that is on fire, and there is no words being spoken. I want to see how it's done because I already know how my other scene has been done because it's in the trailer. I'm hoping it's different than what's in the trailer, but I'm very curious to see how Bella Ramsey and Pedro Pascal handle the facial expressions and how well Ashley Johnson and
Troy Baker
did in their performance of it. I want to compare those two. I agree with him on the Ghost of Tsushima. Like that is just wow. Like I said, that was since The Last of Us. Ghost of Tsushima is the first game where I played and put the controller down. I was like, oh wow, like this is just a masterpiece. Like that game is unbelievable. That's why I want a black and white. I want the TV show and I want it in black and white.
Yeah, the Kurosawa style, I believe it's called.
Yeah, you could play the game in black and white, and I have.
Yeah, for me, I think the final fight of The Last of Us 2 is all I'm going to say. That, again, I put my controller down multiple times in that fight to be like, I don't want to do this. And then the other one that would one of the scenes that always jumps out to me is from Infamous. And slight spoilers for Infamous 1, but there's a scene where you're forced to make a decision between two characters. And I just think that everything going on around and in that scene has always been really, really cool. And it was a tough decision, I remember back in the day. So I would like to see that scene done because I think it'd be really cool. And Josh's last question says, "I promise this is my last one. Sorry, guys. Don't be sorry. I'm a huge Assassin's Creed fan with the news Ubisoft might be in a bit of trouble, and acquisitions being the thing nowadays. Do you see them being grabbed up by one of the bigger companies?"
From what we're reading from like the likes of the Tom Hendersons and the Jez Cordons, like the people that are in the know, and the Paul Tassis, and they wanted to, and no one wants to buy them. So that means that they're not attractive to buy right now. Their games, like look at it, Mario Rabbids. You would have thought that game would have killed, right? But I still think like, geez, they put it out into the ether and really never really talked about it. And games on Switch just sell just because they're on Switch. And they really didn't talk about this game. And all the reviews of it say it's game of the year. It's amazing. Yet the game doesn't sell. That doesn't even make sense to me. So there is a lot more. Ubisoft needs to get their act together, and then maybe someone will buy them, because I truly think someone would have already done it. Like I think Xbox or PlayStation would have bought them already if they were a viable option to buy.
And that's the thing. I don't know, dude. I'm of two minds on this because I mean, we already know that they beat off Vivendi, and for them to kind of,
All right, stop. All right, stop.
but like for them to then go ahead and then turn around and say, somebody please buy us, I'd be curious to see who would be interested, because I don't doubt that. I mean, looking at what Xbox is already doing with some of their acquisitions, and kind of, starting to change the narrative and starting to change the way that they do things if everything goes through, I'd be shocked if they weren't interested. I'm not going to lie. I'd really be shocked if they didn't at least consider it. PlayStation, I just don't know if they have. I don't think that Ubisoft is an investment that PlayStation needs to make, personally. No. They got the open world games, they got the single player story stuff. There isn't really anything that Ubisoft is doing that is unique that would live under the PlayStation's umbrella, the PlayStation Studios umbrella. I think they'd be more interested in something like a Square Enix before they would be a Ubisoft.
Yeah, but they already have all those games anyways without having owned the studio.
But that's what I mean, right? So for me, I don't know, maybe like your THQ Nordic. Like if things with Ubisoft get worse, because again, they're gobbling studios up left, right, and center.
Yeah, no, you mean Embracer Group?
Yeah, thank you. And even like Tencent, again, like there is potential for this to happen.
Well, yeah, they own some of Ubi, don't they?
I think they do. I do.
A very large portion of the Ubisoft.
Exactly. So I feel like depending on how the news goes the next couple of years, because I don't think it's going to be immediate, I could see it happening. If Ubisoft figures it out and starts doing better, maybe that's a different story.
Yeah, I could see Xbox over PlayStation.
Yeah,
the price.
100%. 100%. Heading on to the questions from the Discord now. Bowza asks, with news of Ubisoft cutting back, which franchise being dropped would upset you the most? For me, it's the new Immortals Phoenix Rising. It was already rumored that they were working on another game with a different set of gods. I had so much fun with that game, and I would be very disappointed if it never happens. I'm going to hop on this real quick because I'm 100% with you, Bowza. Immortals Phoenix Rising was one of my favorite games, like in the year that it came out. I think it's fantastic. It's so much fun.
It's better than the game it copied.
I agree.
I said it.
I've
better than the game it copied.
I've made this claim as well and have gotten blasted for it. I'm with you. It's fun. It's a ton of fun. The comedy was great. I really want that team to have another chance at that, because I know the DLC and expansions that followed were very, very hit or miss. So I hope that they do get another opportunity. So Immortals would be mine. Court, what about you?
For me, I know it won't be Assassin's Creed, so I don't have to say it, because that would be the one they would crush me. I'm very worried about a game I like, and which is The Division, because The Division Heartland still isn't out yet. Still haven't got a release date, and they're going to give a season 10 of Division 2, which makes no sense to me if you're going to be releasing this free to play thing. I really liked my time with The Division. It's not on the chopping block list, but at the same time, they've already killed Splinter Cell on me, and I don't think I keep getting like DLCs for other games for Splinter Cell. I'm not getting a Splinter Cell game. So yeah, definitely The Division, because if we're going by new IPs, because Immortals, I think that might be on the chopping block, which sucks.
I know, which really does suck. Didn't we just hear rumors or news about Division 2 possibly getting like a next gen refresh?
No, so they already it already has 120 frames on PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X and S. It's still the PS4 version when you download it onto your console.
Okay.
But you still can get all the frame rates. It looks beautiful. You just don't have the graphics, which is fine. But we're getting a season 10. As someone that still plays it, I know Bobby Miller plays it as well. I played it with him. We are getting another season of this game, and we're getting some more content being brought in, some stuff that we were told we were getting. But we're also supposed to be getting the free-to-play Division Heartland, and we're also supposed to be getting the Division mobile game. So I'm it's just very too much is going on at Ubisoft, and like this is what we're getting, and we get nothing.
Yep, I'm with you. Dan from Canada asks, do you think we will ever get multi-game suspend on PlayStation? I'm shocked that this isn't a thing yet. I recall with Astro, I loved getting notifications that somebody beat my time. Would love to be able to hop in, beat time, and hop back to my other game. They added suspend mode in March 2015, little over a year after the console launch of PS4, but now we're well over 2 years and no multi-suspend, and Xbox can do 3 games on quick resume. Court?
No, this is I want it more than anything, because the resume activity, the doesn't work very well. Like it's like, especially during the review process of God of War. Anytime I went back to resume activity, I'm like, you know what? Forget it. Might as well just kick out of the game and then come back, because sometimes it would make the game all buggy. It just doesn't work like quick resume does. If a game does not have online capabilities, quick resume literally brings you, like, you can turn your console off, exit the game, and it brings you to wherever you are. And I don't have to worry about saves. With the PlayStation, They don't do that. Like
Mhm.
resume activity either works on some games, doesn't work, and even when it does work, it doesn't work that well. The fact that they don't have this at this point is meaning to me that it can't happen.
For me, I just don't think they care. Honestly, quick resume is fantastic. I love the feature. I think it's really awesome. And like you said, it works so seamlessly on Xbox. I wish we did have it on PlayStation. I just don't know if they want to invest the time and space into it. Like for how many people like who probably run multiple games at the same time, I just don't know if they're good. Like I feel like they just want to put their resources elsewhere. That maybe the whole thing is, well, the games load fast enough. Why do you need it? I can understand the rationale on their front,
No,
but
they don't.
I want it. I want it. I think it's awesome. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Yeah, even for a game like The Last of Us, I mean not The Last of Us, sorry, The Division. When I'm playing The Division 2 on the Xbox, I don't have to go through a bunch of loading screens. It just gets me to the like join the server screen,
Yeah.
like right off the bat, which is oh my god. Like I know it sounds like a first world problem, but like that 3 minutes is better. I don't want like me playing Borderlands 3 right now. I have to keep my console all the time on rest mode. I don't want to do that.
Yep. I'm with
I
you.
hate leaving my console on rest mode. I hate it.
Seriously. I don't know. I maybe you're right, Corp. Maybe this is a situation if they can't do it. I think it's more along the lines if they just don't care to. But who knows? Who knows?
You're probably right. Sony, they're doing a lot.
Our next question from Drellish asks, which upcoming game in 2023 do you think will come closest to the level of enjoyment you experienced playing your personal GOTY in 2022?
Jedi Survivor.
Spider-Man.
I don't even. We both have our games coming out this year, right?
100%.
Like Spider-Man is your.
Yep.
It's that if you had an icon of Matt, it's Spider-Man. It's either Miles Morales. I actually would think if you could do your own, it would be like a cross suit between Miles Morales and the regular Spider-Man. But that's just my opinion based on looking around your room right now. But for me, Jedi Survivor. I am a huge Star Wars fan. I loved the story of Cal Kestis from the first in Fallen Order. I am so excited. I love the new hilts that I've seen in the trailer. I love the fact that I can ride, there's mounts that I can ride this time. So much about it. I am so excited. And if they do the story as anything as good as the one before, I think I'm about to get my God of War. Like when God of War 2018, when the new one came out, I was like, oh, it's just a rehash of God of War 2018. I'm like, well, no, they just took 2018 and they just perfected it. Like we thought it was perfection until we played this. That's what I'm hoping Jedi Survivor is just, hey, we were doing a proof of concept the first time and EA was like, we don't want single player games. And they were like, yeah, guess what? We just gave you one of the best ever.
Yep.
I'm just hoping I just get a better version of it. That's all.
I'm with you 100%, dude. For me, Spider-Man 2 is definitely mine. Like, I cannot wait for that game. The amount of time I spent, and again, I'm not one for replaying games. I've replayed the original like 4 times. I love that game so much. And for me to get Miles and to get Peter together in one game with them both in full Spider-Man mode, with us getting Kraven, which is one of my favorite villains, with us getting Venom, which is again one of my favorite villains, with that what I'm guessing they're building up to a Green Goblin situation in the third one as well. I cannot wait. Yuri's Spider-Man is one of my, probably if not my favorite Spider-Man period. It's one of the best like ways that they put that character together. Cannot wait. I cannot wait. Our next question from William Outbreak. With Spider-Man 2, there you go, expected to drop later this year, we know that Venom is coming. But if you had to guess some other classic Spidey villains who would be going toe-to-toe with them in the sequel, who would your picks be? I think Kraven. Well,
this is definitely your.
I'll hop on this one. Kraven, 100%. I think Kraven's definitely going to be there. I wouldn't be surprised if they went a little bit more animal-esque with some of these villains. I think they're building to Green Goblin in what happened with Spider-Man 3.
Well, isn't he sort of in that isn't there like the laugh in the trailer? No.
No.
That was sorry.
Yeah, it was the movie. I think we might get Vulture. I think we might get Scorpion. I think some of these more kind of animal-esque villains would make sense. I wouldn't be surprised if they brought back some of the Sinister Six and just flesh them out a little bit more, because again, some of those characters were just they're one and dones, which is fine. So I don't know. I want Kraven. Venom's obviously going to be there. I think they're building to Green Goblin. I don't know if they would go Hobgoblin before Green Goblin and just kind of rehash that. I don't think there's a need for it. And I just want Big Wheel. Give me Big Wheel. Big Wheel.
I think we're either gonna get Something out of left field, like the Punisher, or because he can still
Mm.
technically, like, I think we're gonna go there. Punisher and Spider-Man have a ton of history,
Yep.
but I don't know why. This is just something that it's totally left field, and it's more probably like something I want.
Mhm.
I think we're getting something near the end of the Into the Spider-Verse hint at what we're gonna get at the end of
Ooh.
this game. Sony owns the property. The movies are phenomenal. I don't see how they don't be like, hey, can you figure out how to shoehorn this in? And you have sort of like Spider-Man versus like all of the baddies.
I'd
Like
be
we get something really, it'd be very hard to do,
mhm.
but I think we'd like, get a hint of it. But I'm hoping personally for the Punisher. I know everybody wants Craven. I want the Punisher.
I think Punisher would be a really cool anti-villain, like anti-hero alongside that. Like again, if you have to fight him and eventually team up to him, I'd want
Because we had
Daredevil.
Black Cat in the first one, right?
Yep,
So
I want
technically,
Daredevil.
yeah.
And if give me Kingpin in full force, because again, we got a taste of him in one. I don't know if they'd bring Rhino back because we've already seen Rhino across both games. Give me Kingpin in just his full menacingness. He'd be really, really awesome. And our final question before we get into question of the show is one that has our Discord in full arguments right now, up in arms, with the question from Nagachaka. One of my favorite questions we've gotten as of yet. Who are the hottest PlayStation husbandos, and why are they Nathan Drake from Uncharted, Jesse from The Last of Us Part 2, and Barrett from Final Fantasy VII Remake? Court, who is your PlayStation husbando?
Well, for me, I told you this before. It definitely got to be Sully, just because I could sit down and have a scotch, and it would just be perfect. Or it'd be Tommy from The Last of Us.
Tommy from The Last of Us is also a really, really good call. Tommy's up there. I think Cole from Infamous is pretty cool too. I'm gonna say it.
That's shocking.
Yeah, like Nathan Drake for me up there as well. I'm gonna count Joker from Persona just because again he's a cool guy, and even though it's not exclusive to PlayStation anymore, it's where it started. I know there's a lot of arguments for John Marston. I know there's a lot of arguments for. Well, I'm just scrolling through the comments here to see who else is there. John Marston is a great one. We had Barrett, we had Cloud tossed out, Zach from Crisis Core again.
Who was the evil villain that looked like Gavin Rossdale in Uncharted 1 or Uncharted 2? The guy with the slick back hair looks like Gavin Rossdale from Bush.
Oh my god, I know who you're talking about, and I'm blanking on.
He's literally Gavin Rossdale. Whoever designed the character was like, "Hey, let's take the lead singer of Bush, put him in a game, and call him a different name."
Yeah.
I'm gonna Google
it. I'm just pulling up question of the show from last week, so that way we can read the community's thoughts and feelings. So give me just a second. But yeah, what was his name? It's gonna drive me nuts now.
Villains in Uncharted.
What was his name? We are live. We're figuring this out as we go, of course, as we always do. Because I can't check
in Uncharted.
I can't check the Discord because I have you on Discord, which makes things fun. So hold on.
Well, that's fine.
Hold on. Scrolling.
It is
so many conversations.
Yeah, well,
it's us.
So someone in the chat could help. Here it is. His name. It's the Gavin Rossdale guy. Come on, visit category and villains. His name is. Are you kidding me? I find him and then I'm like, I go to the page and it's like, his name is Harry Flynn. Or as I like to call him, Harry Flynn, as I like to call him, Gavin Rossdale, because he definitely is. He is in Uncharted 2 Among Thieves.
Uncharted 2 Among Thieves. I'm surprised that
Harry
it was Flynn.
That's his name. Yeah.
I remember his name being so much cooler. Okay, hold on. I'm almost there now. Here we go. I got it.
Definitely him.
There we go. Yes. For our question of the show last week was, which game are you most hyped on for PlayStation in 2023? Lame Dave over in the Discord said, I know it seems strange, but for me, it would be the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters. Nagachaka said, beyond excited for Resident Evil 4 Remake and Marvel's Spider-Man 2. I would love to add Final Fantasy VII Rebirth to this list, but unfortunately, that's coming out in 2024. Ha, Ryan. That's right. Nagachaka. Team Nagachaka. Savoy Prime says, I know. Damn, that's tough. Trails of Reverie is probably my most anticipated, but I'm excited for Final Fantasy 16, Spidey 2, Wolf Among Us 2, and quite a few more. The Muffin Mon says Final Fantasy 16. Ask What Not Why said Atomic Heart. Delroy said Final Fantasy 16 for me for 2023 confirmed exclusives. Jaden Rose says I've always been a single player story driven gamer with exceptions, so I would say Spider-Man 2 or Star Wars Jedi Survivor. just quickly throwing it down to see. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Oh, Drellish said, I am most excited for Spider-Man 2, Diablo 4, Final Fantasy 16, and A Wolf Among Us 2. All sequels in one form or the other, so I need to be surprised by an original IP. Court, what are you most excited for in PlayStation?
For me, it's Jedi Survivor and Spider-Man 2. Without a doubt. Like, I know they're sequels, but they're two huge games and universes that I truly, truly love. I'm not a big Marvel superhero, but Spider-Man is just top tier.
Yep.
He's the best. Like,
he's the best.
I love Batman, but I'll be the first to admit it goes Spider-Man, Batman. But they're the two like S tier superheroes there are. I don't think anybody can be better than the both of them. I just love Spider-Man is just more versatile. He can just do so many different more things. I truly am very excited for the two. And there's even technically a Batman game out that I'm really not that excited for.
I know. I'm with you. Spider-Man 2, like I said, my number one. Final Fantasy 16 is way up there for me. Trails into Reverie and Trails not from Zero, because that's the first one. Trails to Azure is another one that I'm really, really looking forward to. This year is going to have a lot of really fantastic stuff. And I'm very excited to talk about it all with you, Court, as the year goes on. Question of the show this week. What I want to know is what I just came up with on the spot here.
Yeah, I didn't even know what it was.
Yeah, here we go. What trophy are you most proud of on PlayStation? Doesn't even have to be a platinum, doesn't have to be anything, but what trophy, keeping along with our trophy talk, talking about how we're having our competition in the Discord, let me know, what trophy are you most proud of on PlayStation? Not a bad question of the week, eh, Court? I'm just gonna.
I like it.
There we go. That brings us to the end of the show, everybody. Thank you so much for watching, listening, and so on and so forth. Go check out The Last of Us show, which will be, if you're watching live, up in a couple hours. If you're watching not live, go check it out. It'll be there for you. And of course, we appreciate all of you very much. Court, if people wanted to see and hear more from you, where could they do so?
You can find me at Court Lawn on Twitter, or you can find me on all the Carpool Gaming.
All of the Carpool Gamings. Make sure you go find Court and all of them. And as for me, on Twitter, you can find me. I'm Matt_Silver Soul, and you can find us here doing stuff all the time. And to close out, let's thank our wonderful patrons, for like our ultimate producers. Robbie Bobby Miller. Subscribe to Robbie Bobby's Twitch channel at twitch.tv/Robbie Bobby Miller. Trucker Sloth. Tony Baker from Quest for Pixels. Please subscribe to youtube.com/Quest for Pixels today. Jonathan Brown. The new album from PME is called Video Game Boy and is available on Spotify and Apple Music. Lee Navarro, the fearless leader of the Phoenix Overdrive Extra Life team. Links are in the show notes. Please support these ultimate producers. And of course, our platinum producers, Marcus McCracken and RJ Kern. And gold members, Anna, Cecily Carosa, Dallas Robbins, Drellish, Emily O'Kelly, Foolish Fuji, Jonas Young, Jose Jimenez, Marcus O'Neill, Tim Paulin. And also, let's welcome back Brian Eck to Patreon this week. We appreciate all of you very, very much. We'll be back next week for even more. Peace. Boom.
Boom. Look at us.